When people who have spent decades with an abuser and finally escaped were asked what was the warning signs, most pointed to one important one. They all agreed that the moment you see this, you need to get out of the relationship immediately as it will just get worse. Control. Narcissists and abusers are extremely insecure. They have a fragile ego that cannot stand to be shown to be wrong. Their anger and manipulation are a protection tactic to protect their ego and sense of self. The more insecure they are, the more toxic they become, as the more they need to control everything and everyone around them to feel safe. Controlling behaviors are often the first or only red flag you will see at the beginning of a relationship, as the person is still getting you hooked on them. They often do not think there is anything wrong with their behaviors, thus do not hide it well as they are emotionally driven by a deep fear that compels them to be in control to feel safe. The basis of all narcissistic relationships is to gain and remain in control of you. When you see controlling behaviors, you need to get out of a relationship. If you don't, things are going to get worse and worse, while it gets harder and harder to leave a toxic person. Although narcissists abuse you in different ways, much of the drive to behave in such ways is their unquenchable need to feel in control to feel safe. And their behaviors are how they have learned from a child how to control people. No matter how much you show them you love them or tell them you love them or how much you offer up for them, it will never be enough to still their paranoia and feed their deep-rooted emotional drive for ultimate control. Deep down they believe that they can only be safe if they control everything around them, including the truth. They are a 4-year-old in an adult body who are scared to death and only know one way to feel safe: control and manipulate everyone and everything with any means possible. Even if they know they are hurting you, for them it is a matter of their survival. What does control look like? Controlling methods can be overt for all to witness, or it can be covert and may even look like the person is romantically into you. Often a narcissist favors one method over another, but they will switch if they feel another method will work better. We often think that the overt method are the worst, but it is actually the covert method that are more destructive and manipulative. Overt methods. Overt methods are often publicly shaming, mockery, or criticism of you. They invalidate your accomplishments, make hurtful or inappropriate remarks, and then claim they were only joking. Slowly you will draw back into your shell, being too afraid to come out and be shamed or humiliated. It could be shaming you for not knowing how to eat with chopsticks, or not knowing what all the cutlery are for in a fancy restaurant, especially if you used the wrong fork or knife. Overt control can also be them refusing to go to any venue you choose or doing an activity that you want to do. They will have an endless list of excuses and then expect you to just fall in with their plans. They can also stop you from ordering a meal by saying you don't want to eat that and that you should rather order something else. They often hide their controlling behaviors with concern, such as they want to know where you are all times of the day and may call you 10 or more times a day or send you text messages wanting to know how you are and where you are as well as who you're with. They may also want to know what you are wearing and eating every moment of the day. At first, it may look like they are just into you, but soon you will realize they want to know what you do every second of the day and may even start to dictate who you can be with, where you can go, things you can buy, and what you can wear or eat. What looks like they cannot get enough of you because they are so in love with you is actually extreme insecurity from them and a fear that you will find them out by seeing their true self and then leave them. If it gets worse, they may start damaging your stuff, throwing things around, yell at you, and even hurt you physically when you do something they dislike. Another overt way that can sometimes be covert is controlling you from money. They may demand to pay for everything and make you feel secretly guilty and as if you owe them something. They can also make you financially dependent on them by either giving you a lifestyle you could not afford on your own if they are rich, or by manipulating you in leaving your job. After some time, you may fear you will not be able to get a job again if you leave them. You will find that they withhold material things like clothes, food, basic necessities, or even holidays from you if you displease them. Fear and intimidation is a major way to control you. They will give you warnings or forecasts of what they could do or will do if you keep on displeasing them. Often at the beginning of a relationship, the warnings and consequences will be given as a joke, such as saying, if you don't stop asking where we are going, I will turn around, or stop and you can walk home. Any warnings of consequences should you displease them, even if given as a joke, is a major sign that your life will become a prison where they are the warden. Covert methods. Covert methods are often passive-aggressive. The person gives you the silent treatment or acts moody when they are unhappy with you. And try as you might, they will not give in and tell you what is wrong or talk to you until you give in to what they want. They can control you by masking put-downs with compliments. They may say, "Why don't you wear that other outfit? You look so much nicer in that." Another covert way is to walk away or just start ignoring you when you talk about something important to you, or you talk about something they do not agree on or want to talk about. Silent treatment is a form of invalidation that is extremely powerful. They know you want their approval and affection and will eventually give in to their demands to get their attention. They may also withhold giving answers to your questions. This can be, where's the relationship heading? Do you want kids? When are we getting married? To just, can we get a dog? They will delay for as long as possible to get you to be nice to them, as you want them to respond positively to your question. Often when you finally push them, they respond negatively and then blame you for their decision as you upset them. But then they make you feel as if you can change their mind if you make it up to them. This is a very destructive way of control, as you learn that you need to please them so they can be happy, so that you can be happy. Thus, you become responsible for when they are unhappy or failed at anything. Other ways of passive-aggressive control are threatening stances or movements, such as them acting like they are going to hurt you. And then, more destructive of all, the stare. When they give you that stare, you know they are upset, but you don't know what they're going to do. The fear of what they might do is often scarier than what they actually do in the end, as they make you believe that whatever they did, it could have been worse, but they decided to be kind on you this time. One of the strongest control methods is to use guilt. They make you feel guilty for them being upset over drama in the relationship. They may also play on your insecurities and make you feel guilty for having flaws. You may have a funny laugh or snore or eat funny according to them. They can also tell you how useless you are, unqualified, uneducated, unskilled, or shaming you for having a low-paying job. Slowly they make you feel unworthy and ashamed of who you are. They make you believe that every idea or hope you have will fail, and for you, failure is unescapable and your only solution is to rely on them. The seeds of doubt they plant in you will make you believe your only source of hope, security and wisdom is them. When this happens, they have full control of you. This manipulation is so slow and insidious that often you are destroyed and only a shell of your former self before you see what they are doing. By then you may not have the willpower to leave them. Sob stories also work great in controlling you, as it plays on your emotions. They love to play the victim and act as if you hurt them. However, some will claim that they need control over you because they were hurt and cannot trust people, such as an ex-lover cheated on them and took all their money. That's why they need control over your finances and need to know where you are every moment of the day so that they can feel safe. This is a lie. They are using your emotions to control you through sob stories while they insult you by saying that if they did not control you, you would have cheated on them or stole all their money. That means they don't trust you and neither do they love you. Danger of not leaving. The longer you stay in the relationship, the more control they gain over you. You will also become more and more invested in the relationship, such as buying a house together, marrying, having kids, and so on. The more invested you are in the relationship, the harder it will be for you to leave. When you do start to see warning signs, you will be tempted to dismiss it and defend the person. Later, when the abuse gets so bad that you cannot ignore it, it may be hard to admit you made a mistake and were deceived. The thought of leaving the person and admitting all the time you had together was a lie may be so painful that you rather stay. Hooks such as mortgage, kids, and not having money also can keep you in their control. For a person who needs to be in control, there is never a point when it is enough. Their paranoia does not allow them to feel safe. Whatever you do to give them control and make them feel safe, they will continue asking more and more and restrict you more and more. Things will never improve, although you will be blamed for their insecurity and made to believe you have the power to create harmony in the relationship. This is a false belief, as you nor them can control their insecurity or paranoia.